Once, in a small coastal town where the waves never stopped crashing, there lived a young man named Adrian. He was strong in body but fragile in spirit. From the outside, he seemed fine. He worked hard, greeted people politely, and carried himself like everyone else. But inside, Adrian carried a storm. His mind never rested. His nights were filled with tossing and turning, his days with doubts and regrets. No matter what he tried, peace slipped away from him like water through his fingers. He longed for calm, but it always felt just out of reach. One evening, as the sun was falling into the horizon, Adrian heard an old rumor whispered among fishermen. Somewhere beyond the cliffs, there was a monastery, and in that monastery lived a monk who carried a single candle everywhere he went. They said this candle could not be blown out by wind or storm, and that anyone who understood its secret would never feel restless again. Adrian could not resist. The very next morning he set out on a journey. His heart was heavy with questions, but filled with a spark of hope. Days turned into weeks as he walked across hills, through forests, and along rocky shores. At last, he arrived at the monastery, its stone walls bathed in golden light. Outside, in the courtyard, an old monk sat quietly. In his hands he held a candle that burned steadily, even though the sea winds whipped fiercely around him. Adrian felt his breath catch. How could a flame survive such a storm? He approached and bowed deeply. "Master," he said, "I have no peace. My thoughts chase me day and night. I want to be free. Teach me your secret." The monk lifted the candle slowly, his eyes kind and calm. "If you wish to learn," he said, "you must first carry this candle through the village below. Walk from one end to the other and return here. But remember, not even once must the flame go out." Adrian's hands trembled as the candle was placed into them. He began his walk down the steep path to the village. The wind howled against him. Dust rose from the ground. People shouted. Children laughed. Dogs barked. Carts rattled. But Adrian kept his eyes fixed on the flame. Every step was deliberate. Every breath careful. Every thought silenced by the fragile light in his hands. As he moved through the crowded streets, people turned their heads. Some laughed at him. Others watched in silence. But Adrian did not look at them. His entire being was devoted to protecting the flame. He walked past markets, past temples, past the noise and chaos of life, but he did not waver. When at last he returned to the monastery, his arms were stiff, his face covered in sweat, but the flame still burned brightly. "Master," he said, breathless, "I did it. The candle did not go out." The monk nodded slowly and asked, "But tell me, Adrian, what did you see on your journey? Did you notice the colors of the market stalls? Did you hear the laughter of children? Did you see the waves crashing against the harbor?" Adrian looked at him in surprise. "No, master, I saw nothing. I heard nothing. My eyes and thoughts were only on the flame." The monk smiled, his voice as gentle as the evening breeze. "That is the secret. You were not haunted by your past. You were not afraid of your future. You were not distracted by noise or chaos. You were only here in this moment guarding the flame, and in that moment you carried peace within you." Adrian's eyes filled with tears. For the first time, he understood. Peace was not something the world would hand him. Peace was something he had to practice, just as he had practiced protecting the candle. From that day, Adrian's life changed. Whenever his thoughts tried to drag him into storms of regret or fear, he imagined the flame in his hands. He reminded himself that the only task was to guard it, step by step, moment by moment. His nights became softer, his days calmer, his laughter real. And though the winds of life still blew, the flame inside him no longer went out. As you reflect on Adrian's journey, ask yourself, what is the candle you must protect in your own life? What flame do you need to keep alive in the middle of your storms? Write your answer in the comments below, because your words might inspire someone else. And if this story touched your heart, give it a like and share it with a friend who needs to hear it today. Don't forget to subscribe, because every week we bring you new stories, new lessons, and new sparks of wisdom waiting to be discovered. Life will always bring storms. But as Adrian learned, the secret is not to stop the wind, but to guard the flame within. And as long as you do, no storm will ever steal your peace. So stay present, stay steady, and remember, Your flame is always in your hands.